Tonight on UATV News, a strong force of nature impacts Northwest Arkansas. What you can do to stay safe.
Tomorrow ends Arkansas's historic executions. What you need to know about the last man standing.
People are just embracing what he's doing, and I think it's just, who knows where it's going to go, but definitely going up.
One man's passion catches the nation's attention, how he's carving out his future. UATV starts right now.
Last night sparked storms that carried into this morning. We saw flooding in multiple areas across Northwest Arkansas. Welcome to UATV News. I'm Austin Baker.
And I'm Jacqueline House. And many people and businesses are still feeling the effect of last night's storms. The Northwest Arkansas area saw major flooding throughout the day due to heavy rains. On Blue Springs Road in Fayetteville, the water washed away the concrete, causing the road to fall apart. Take a look at this. The road is now divided with water rushing through the middle. The road is currently closed down.
With rain expected throughout the week, more flooding may be headed our way. Safety is the #1 concern if you're caught in a storm. UATV's Jody Loftus is live in Springdale with how to stay safe when the water rises. Jody?
Hi, Austin. I'm here live in Springdale, and this behind me is called Ivy Lane. It's a road, and right now it is submerged about a foot deep in the middle from last night's rain. Now, one of the most important things to remember about this is that you don't want to go into the water. According to the National Weather Service, 6 inches will sweep a person away. A foot of water will stall a car. 2 feet of moving water will, in fact, move a car itself. Springdale police warn drivers to be careful if they're caught in bad weather.
Well, the first thing you need to do is just slow down. Take your time, just like any other hazardous driving. The #1 rule is keep it simple. Don't drive in high water. If you see running water going across the street, just don't drive in it.
Now, if you see barricades up around a street, that means that the street is either flooded or unavailable to be driven on. And if you're caught in a flood, the most important thing is to get to high ground. Live for UATV, I'm Jody Loftus.
After the floodwater recedes, officials say to be on the lookout for possible debris when driving.
The Buffalo National River Search and Rescue Team is looking for 2 people who went missing near Kyle's Landing today. Witnesses say the 2 people were separated on the river, one stranded on the upstream of the island and the other moving downstream. Officials say this was the most likely result of a canoe overturning. The search will continue through tomorrow morning.
Well, can we expect today's rain and cooler temperatures to continue?
Let's send it out to UATV's Kendall Smith, who is live with a look at the rest of the week's forecast. Kendall?
Welcome to UATV Weather. I'm Kendall Smith. Well, as you can see, it's currently raining outside, and it's been that way since yesterday as well. And it doesn't seem to be looking up in the forecast. Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast to see what's in store. On Thursday, you can expect a high of 69 degrees and partly cloudy with a low of 56. So it's going to clear up a bit tomorrow. But then on Friday, we're going to go back to thunderstorms with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 59. That same storm system that's pushing into our area on Friday will linger on Saturday as well with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 51. On Sunday, however, the thunderstorms will pass and we'll just experience rain with a high of 55 degrees and a low of 51. And then on Monday, back to clear skies with a high of 68 degrees and a low of 48. And sunny for the remainder of the day. That's all for weather. Back to you guys.
We could be nearing the end of Arkansas' string of executions. What's on the Arkansas Department of Corrections schedule for the remainder of this week? UATV's Andrew Epperson is live in studio with the latest. Andrew?
Arkansas is set to execute 1 more inmate to cap off what's been referred to as the 8 in 10 execution saga. Kenneth Williams, who killed 4 people in a year span starting in 1998, is set to die by lethal injection tomorrow at 7. This comes just a few days after Jack Jones and Marcel Williams were executed, marking the first time since 2000 the country performed a double execution. Disagreements among witnesses about whether or not Jones was still conscious when the deadly drugs were administered have raised concerns. Marcel Williams' attorney, Scott Braden, says the state should reconsider Thursday's executions in response to these concerns.
I would think that the last executions should give them some pause because there are concerns about the protocol and how it's followed and the results of that seen in Jack Jones and some Marcel Williams.
The execution is set for 7 o'clock, and the Arkansas Supreme Court has denied Williams' requests for a stay. His attorneys say they will more than likely file a similar motion to the U.S. Supreme Court in hopes of keeping him alive. Barring any last-second stays, there's nothing standing in the way of the ADC carrying out the execution's warrant. Reporting here in the UATV studio, I'm Andrew Epperson.
Thank you, Andrew. UATV will continue providing you extensive execution coverage. Follow UATV News on Twitter to keep up with tomorrow's updates.
According to police, the Boonville police chief was shot this morning after responding to a 911 call. Chief Albert Brown and other officers were on the scene when the suspect came out armed. While trying to take the suspect into custody, police say that there was a struggle and the shot was fired. Chief Brown is in stable condition and is expected to be released tomorrow.
One man fights to change his life on parole sentence. At 15 years old, Christopher Segerstrom raped and killed a 4-year-old girl. He was sentenced as a minor but had a new trial earlier today. The court decided to reset for next Wednesday.
Fayetteville police searched for a man suspected of robbing a gas station early this morning. According to police, officers responded to the Conoco gas station on Garland after a panic alarm call came in. When they arrived, the clerk told them a man came in with a handgun demanding money. Police are still looking for the suspect.
This month, the police department and Washington County Sheriff's Office teamed up to raise awareness about texting and driving. The goal of the event is to reduce traffic tickets. Now, some U of A students do realize the risk of texting and driving.
Not staring at the phone. I think that's important because people are going to text and drive. That's something that's going to happen. Like, no law is going to prevent that. But I think being safe about it's really important.
Police will continue to enforce the law until May 5th.
One local shares his love of music through his unique craft. UATV's Brooke Earhart is live in Fayetteville with more.
A Fayetteville man takes his ability of music to a new level, but let's just say he's making more than just that. Kelly and Donna Maholan perform music all around the country, raising awareness about environmental issues. However, they don't play on your average Fender guitar.
Bayard has the rare personality qualities. To make a living as a guitar maker in this day and age is almost impossible.
They receive the guitar from a longtime friend, and they bring it along on every tour.
The songwriter community all over the country is embracing what Bayard is doing, and we've got countless friends coast to coast that own these instruments.
Bayard Blaine has been in the woodworks of making guitars and mandolins for over 8 years. With the support and publicity, he has been able to distribute handmade instruments all over the country.
The first few instruments took quite a while because I was buying tools and things I needed for the different stages. They just started flowing, and now they're easy to put out.
Blaine's inspiration to create his own instruments came along when he was playing in a band at a young age. He cuts, crafts, and carves all the wood right here in his shop. Over time, he has collected woods from all over the world, from Hawaii, Brazil, Africa, China, and more, to create some of his best works.
I can put my work right up against $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 guitars, and nobody can tell the difference in the quality. It's like that's what you got to do to make it.
Blaine plans to continue making instruments locally and hopes to expand his business in the future.
People are just embracing what he's doing, and I think it's just, who knows where it's going to go, but definitely going up.
Bayard Blaine plans to continue distributing his guitars worldwide. For UATV, I'm Brooke Earhart.
Bayard Blaine builds instruments that range from $2,000 to $6,000, and all are sold online. Eyes turn toward Washington today. How one government proposal has local businesses on their toes.
Tensions rise between neighboring countries. What this could mean for the United States. UATV will be right back.
A major tax break may be coming for businesses across the country. President Trump announced a tax plan that would reduce the rate for corporations from 35% to 15%. The plan also included a reduction to the rate for pass-through businesses. This cut applies to mom-and-pop shops, among other businesses. The administration expects there to be a pushback to the proposal, but they say they won't give in.
This is going to be the biggest tax cut and the largest tax reform in the history of our country, and we are committed to seeing this through.
Speaker Paul Ryan says he's been briefed on the details. And in more President Trump news, he had tough words for a key foreign power, but not one you might expect. In keeping with his America First pledge, President Trump set his sights on Canada. The president responded to a Canadian tariff on milk imports from the U.S. by adding tariffs up to 24% on Canadian lumber. Experts say this may lead to increased home prices in the U.S. Canadian officials will not back down in the trade dispute.
Politeness is something that we believe is a national virtue, but it's not an accident that hockey is our national sport.
The Trump administration charges that Canada's government subsidizes Canadian lumber companies. Freeland denies these claims. North Korean officials say the country's largest ever artillery drill marks the beginning of the country's army. They say to prepare for a preemptive strike on the U.S. and its allies. This statement comes as tensions between North and South Korea continue to rise. The U.S. held military drills in South Korea at the same time as the North Korean demonstration. South Korea is not the only place the U.S. is drilling and testing its military. The U.S. Air Force launched an unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile from California's Vandenberg Air Force Base. The Air Force officer in charge of the test called the launch, quote, an important demonstration of our nation's nuclear deterrent capability. Well, that's what's going on in our world today. I'm Cassidy Gallagher.
We're seeing severe weather in our area, but is the rest of the nation seeing the same? I have your national weather coming up next.
Colors fly in cultural celebration at a local park. How campus brought nations together.
Welcome back to UATV. I'm Kendall Smith with your weather. It's currently 46 degrees, but highs were in the upper 50s to low 60s. Much of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and part of Missouri and Kansas. On the next map, we'll take a look at your surface pressure. We're currently experiencing a low pressure system that has moved into our area last night, which has brought about colder temperatures as well as hail, thunderstorms, and it's bringing about rain for this much of our area. We're under a flood warning. On the next map, we'll take a look at your Doppler radar. This is, as you can see, there's a line of severe thunderstorms that pushed into our area last evening, bringing about hail, severe thunderstorms, and that system has since pushed through our viewing area, bringing about, it's moved into central Arkansas and as well as eastern Arkansas, and will be continuing to move to the east coast. The next map will take a look at your severe weather alerts. So Northwest Arkansas, luckily, is not currently under a severe weather alert. However, they were under a flash flood warning earlier this morning, and then as well as a wind chill advisory. Central and eastern Arkansas are under severe thunderstorm watches, as well as tornado watches as well. So these severe thunderstorm watches and warnings will be moving into the eastern portion of the United States for the remainder of this evening. On the next map, we'll take a look at your 48-hour precipitation. So in the nation across the board, we are currently in the area that's experiencing the most rainfall. In Northwest Arkansas, we could see by the end of Sunday anywhere from 5 to 7 inches of rain, which will bring about flooding and all sorts of other concerns. However, eastern and central Arkansas, they're under a severe thunderstorm watch and warning as well, so they will also be included in that area where they might have 5 to 7 inches of rain, if not around 3 to 5 inches. So it's a lot of rain coming up for the remainder of this weekend, and stay tuned to the weather. That's all. Back to you guys.
Over 60 songwriters will come together for the first ever Power of Music Festival. The I Fly Away Foundation created the festival to celebrate the power of music that has the impact that it makes on the difference in our lives. The event will take place in downtown Bentonville from tomorrow through Saturday.
An organization on campus makes Indian culture more accessible to students. They hosted a festival on Saturday and invited the entire community. UATV's Billy Quach is live with more.
Friends of India, an RSO on campus, hosted the holy event this past Saturday. Many from the community came and experienced what Indian culture was all about.
It's really fun. It's not what I was expecting, but it's really fun. I like all the colors.
Holi is a Hindu spring festival that is celebrated mainly in India and Nepal. Also known as the Festival of Color, Holi celebrates the beginning of the Indian calendar year, which occurs mid-March.
Like, this is a really great way for everyone to come and just kind of like, in a relaxed environment, learn about something that they're probably not familiar with.
Friends of India and RSO on campus hosted the Color Festival on Saturday at Wilson Park. They opened the event to the community and participants enjoyed it.
I just love that Friends of India is inviting people from all different cultures and communities, even outside the University of Arkansas, to come and participate in this event and just join this celebration with everyone.
For the price of admission, participants were given packets of colorful holy powder and music played as they danced and threw powder on each other. Friends of India hosted the event in order to allow people to experience their culture and try something new, including catered Indian food.
And we want to spread the knowledge and increase the awareness about the different culture and whatever festivities we have and when we celebrate.
Friends of India hope that through this event, people will learn about the Indian culture and continue to have an open mind about other cultures outside of their own. Friends of India host several other events throughout the year as well, including the celebration of India's Independence Day. For UATV, I'm Billy Quatch.
Next year will be the program's 15th year anniversary, and they have plans for a big reunion of former members.
The U of A's new Student Media Center is this week. Department Chair Larry Foley says, quote, "This is a very big deal for our department, one of the most impactful in our history," end quote. The center was donated by Sue Walker Burnett and will bear her name. Construction for the project starts after graduation in May and will be done by 2018.
The Arkansas football team's red and white game is set for noon Saturday at Razorback Stadium. Hogfest will start before the game at 9 outside of Bud Walton Arena. It will include a fun zone, games, music, mascots, giveaways, and an autograph session with many Razorback legends. The event is free and open to the public. One retired NFL back returns to the league and find out who he is and where he's heading.
And the Razorback baseball team bats in more W's. What's in store for them? Up next on UATV Sports.
A week of history in the sports world between the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs, and there are Razorbacks involved in it all. But first, we'll start away from home on the West Coast. The Raiders trade Seattle for Marshawn Lynch. In exchange for the running back, Seattle switched its 6th-round draft pick with Oakland's 5th-round pick. Lynch signed a 2-year contract with the team. For the 2017 season, he has a $3 million contract plus the chance to earn $2 million more if he can gain 1,000 yards. In order to play for his hometown team, he will have to sign papers to get out of retirement. The Raiders aren't the only team gaining players this week. The NFL draft starts tomorrow in Philadelphia. 8 former Hogs are up for selection at the event. Let's take a look at some of the most notable former Hogs hoping to get picked up. Drew Morgan, wide receiver, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. He's 7th on Arkansas's all-time receptions list. Next, we've got Jeremiah Ledbetter, defensive end, 6'3", 280 pounds. In 2 seasons at Arkansas, he has a total of 8 sacks. Then we've got good old Toby Baker, punter, 6'2", 210 pounds, and his career-long punt is 60 yards. Moving back home, Fayetteville boy Brooks Ellis, linebacker, 6'2", 240 pounds, 2-time team captain. And finally, Keon Hatcher, wide receiver, 6'1", 212 pounds, 4th ranked in touchdowns as a Hog. Their fates in football face wild changes over the next few days. The draft lasts through Saturday. Some former Hogs who have already gone pro play in the NBA playoffs. Prepare for another list, folks, this time a bit shorter. Bobby Portis makes his first playoff performance with the Chicago Bulls. Portis is in his 2nd year with the team and in the league. Patrick Beverley plays in his 4th playoffs with the Houston Celtics. Beverley averages 10 points and 6 rebounds per game. And the playoff veteran Joe Johnson is in his 12th time in the tournament with the Utah Jazz. Johnson recently scored a spot in the 20,000-point club. Moving on to your Hogs right here at home, the baseball team continues its winning season this week. The Hogs beat Kansas State at 6-5 last night, giving them the team 33 total wins this season. The Razorbacks came back from behind, tying up the game in the 7th inning, then taking the lead in the bottom of the 10th. Arkansas now ranks 14th in the nation. They take to the field again this weekend for a series against Ole Miss at home. I'm Alexander Franks. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to follow us at UATV Sports on Twitter.
Welcome back to UATV. I'm Kendall Smith. Well, it's currently 46 degrees, but it feels like it's 40 with the wind chill and the rain. It's pretty blustery outside. We're currently experiencing rain, as well as we will for the remainder of the night. However, tomorrow morning, it'll be clearing up, and then another round of storms will be moving into our viewing area on Friday. That's all for weather. Back to you guys.
Students from Dallas may soon be looking towards the skies after calling for an Uber. Check this out. Uber plans to bring flying taxis to Dallas and Dubai by 2020.
They are partnering with aviation companies to develop the flying vehicles. The rideshare giant also said the cars will help in areas with busy traffic. The fare will be the same price as an Uber X. What do you think about that? You think the price will be the same?
I don't know. I don't think that it's actually going to happen, but I guess we will see.
Yeah, we only got 3 years, so that's not too far off. That'll do it for tonight's edition of UATV. I'm Jacqueline House.
And I'm Austin Baker. Follow us at UATV News and have a great night.